Hello friends, Zachary Stockill here from retroactivejealousy.com. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to rebuild trust in the wake of trauma or infidelity in a relationship. If you've been enjoying the videos in my channel and you'd like me to keep doing this, please take a moment to let me know by clicking the like button below and making sure you are subscribed to my channel. Okay, today I'm responding to an email from someone we'll call M. M writes, "Could you please share a video on suffering from insecurities or a lack of trust after a trauma in a relationship?" Okay, M. So by trauma, I'm going to assume that there's been some lapse in trust, some kind of betrayal, something happened in your relationship which demonstrated that maybe you can't entirely trust your partner. Maybe they flirted with someone else, or maybe there's been a more serious breach of trust, something like that. I'm only working with the details which you offered, so this is my guess. You know, I really make an effort on this channel to only write and speak about things which I feel like I have a really solid grasp on, which I have either personal, a lot of personal knowledge of, or something I've, seen in a lot of coaching clients, something I've helped them with, something I've done a lot of research on, and how to rebuild trust in the wake of infidelity, cheating, betrayal is not something I have a lot of experience with. The number one suggestion I would offer to you is to read the book The State of Affairs by the famed author and psychotherapist Esther Perel. It's a very, very good read. It's probably the best book on this topic, so I strongly encourage you to take a look. Aside from that, aside from deferring to the expertise of Esther Perel, I'll offer a few thoughts. So if you're interested in rebuilding trust and building more trust, shall we say, in a relationship after there's been some lapse in trust, the number one thing I would say is, how does your partner see the lapse in trust? How do they see their betrayal? How do they see the event which led to this lapse or lessening in trust in the relationship? Because although it's certainly true that it only takes one person to change a relationship dynamic, when it comes to infidelity, betrayal, something like that, on the part of the person who acted out, or on the part of the person who made a mistake, they really need to own the fact that they made a mistake. They need to be self-conscious to some degree. They need to be self-aware. They need to actually own and understand what happened. It's not enough to merely say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll never happen again. I'm sorry, it was a mistake." Do they really understand the way they hurt you? Do they really understand the way their betrayal, their mistake, whatever you want to call it, do they really internalize and understand how they messed up? Because if they don't, you're kind of fighting a losing battle, because the odds of their behavior changing are pretty slim if they're not actually owning their mistake. So we'll start there. Are they actually owning their mistake? Are they actually understanding what's going on? Do they actually appreciate the gravity of the situation? Aside from that, I would ask, is this more of a one-off event, or is this a pattern? In other words, have they been being shady off and on for months or years? Is this part of an ongoing pattern of, for lack of a better term, shady behavior, or lapses in judgment, or mistakes, or whatever you want to call it? A mistake one time is a mistake. A mistake two times is a pattern. And you kind of have to look into the history of your relationship and kind of have that in the back of your mind when you're considering, is this a one-off thing, which maybe I'd be more inclined to forgive? Or is this demonstrative of a broader pattern, things that keep happening over and over and over and over? Another question I would pose to you, the person writing this message, is, are you, if not actively forgiving them in this moment, are you open to forgiving them in the future? In other words, even if you're mad as hell at them, at your partner right now, and you're really hurt, and whatever they did really stings, are you open to forgiving them someday? Can you work through this, do you think? Doesn't have to be today, doesn't have to be next week, doesn't even have to be next month, but at some point, are you going to be willing to let this go? Can you let this go? Whatever your partner did to you, are you capable of forgiving them? Because depending on your personality, your relationship history, the nature of your relationship, there are certain lapses in trust, lapses in judgment on the part of your partner, which may in fact be unforgivable. To cite one of mine, like a serious cheating, shall we say, if my partner really cheated on me and slept with someone else or whatever, I don't think personally, this is just Zach speaking, I don't think I would be able to forgive that. Just speaking for myself. Maybe you are different, and if so, kudos. That's whatever works for you, that's great. But you really have to consider this question for yourself. Are you willing and are you capable at some point of forgiving your partner for whatever they did to hurt you? So if you start there, I think that gives you a decent grasp on at least getting the ball rolling when it comes to rebuilding trust with your partner. And if you get into this process and you get stuck, some people find things like couples counseling very helpful. Other people find just individual one-on-one therapists very helpful. Whatever works for you. But number one, I think, at the very top of my list anyway, if I was in your position, if I was writing someone like me and saying, how do I rebuild trust in my relationship after my partner messes up, in essence, is my partner really conscious of what's going on? Have they owned their mistake? Are they actively committed to their own growth? Because this is a mistake that, for example, a lot of retroactive jealousy sufferers make, where they're kind of taking ownership of their partner's growth. They think if I just commit hard enough to personal development, if I own my stuff enough, eventually that'll make my partner change. And the reality of the situation is you really can't make other people change. It's on you to own your mistakes, it's on you to own your growth, and the same goes for your partner. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you benefited from this. If you did, please take a moment to let me know by clicking the like button below, as well as making sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll talk to you again very soon.